Well, listener, the relationship between Indonesia and Tunisia have a very long time bilateral relations. And it has been established since the early of 1960s, or even earlier than that. So when Tunisia declared its independence, and to know more about the relationship between Indonesia and Tunisia, today here in our studio we have Tunisian Ambassador to Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. RIADH DRIDI. Assalamu alaikum, Your Excellency.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Fine, thank you very much. First of all, let me say to my brothers Indonesians, Ramadan Mubarak, and wish them good health, and I wish them that God will accept their prayers and their fasting.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Yes, Mr. Ambassador, how do you comment on how do you assess the relationship between Indonesia and Tunisia since their establishment maybe long before the 1960s?
Yes, we had historical and excellent brotherly relations between Tunisia and Indonesia. Like you said, our relations goes even before the declaration of Tunisia's independence in 1956. There was a delegation coming from Tunisia in the early 50s to show to seek support of Indonesian president and Indonesian government to our struggle for independence. And Indonesia was our voice to the United Nations Security Council, and Indonesia supported Tunisia for its fight for its independence. Also, a delegation from Tunisia came to the Bandung Asia-Africa Conference
Yes.
in the 50s, and Tunisian delegation at that time, when Tunisia was colonized, met with the officials and asked for Indonesia's support, and we are grateful to Indonesia for its support to Tunisia to gain its independence. So yes, we have historical and very strong, very close relations since our independence, and actually I think next year we'll celebrate the establishment of our diplomatic relations. Since our independence, we had very close and diversified relations with Indonesia, and we look forward to work to make them more stronger in the future.
Okay, so it is growing from time to time, and the two countries would like to make this relationships to be stronger and stronger in the future. Your Excellency, based on the data, bilateral trade between Indonesia and Tunisia has been decreasing. And data from our Ministry of Trade show that the total trade value of Indonesia and Tunisia in 2017 was $87,965.4 US, while in 2018 it was $81,590.8 US, or it decreased 3.5%. So from the previous year. So what is your comment about this?
About this 3% decrease in our trade volume, let's see the whole picture. 87 or 81 is a small amount of business.
Yes.
So even 80 is not in the level of the expectation of the two countries. So we think now to develop more our trade, and that's why the two parties are working and negotiating a PTA agreement, so that we will speak not about 80s, we'll speak about hundreds. And that's the aim of the two countries. So yes, there was a small decreasing in the trade volume, but we think we can do more in the future. And that's why it's our focus between the two countries to try to achieve the PTA so that it will be signed, inshallah, we hope, by before the end of the year. Yes.
Before the end of this year.
We hope we can sign it before the end of this year. Yes.
Okay, so if there is a hope that there will be an increase in the trade relationship in terms of value, since you say that 81, or just say 100,000 US dollars is a very small amount of trade relationship between Indonesia. It's a huge country with and Tunisia. Yeah. So maybe is there just say a level of achievement, maybe like 1 million for the next 5 years, or?
Yeah, actually, we 1 million. We need to think about a bigger number, bigger figures, bigger numbers, you know, bigger volume. So we didn't put, you know, a number to reach, but I think with the PTA, we can do a very good, you know, volume of trade. And actually, we are working on a program to promote our, you know, products here in Indonesia. And I think your embassy there in Tunisia is doing the same to promote Indonesian products. Actually, last Friday, the 3 May, we inaugurated the Tunisian Food and Culinary Fair in Indonesia, in Grand Indonesia Mall, in Ranch Market. So it will make Tunisian products more known, you know, here in the markets. Actually, when I came here 5 months ago, I was surprised to realize that only Tunisian product is on the market, is the Tunisian dates. Tunisian dates are very well known here in Indonesia, so we can do more. It's just one product, you know, known here. We export other products that are not well known. So we are working on a program to promote our products, olive oil, many other products, you know, Tunisian specific products like chili sauce, specific for Tunisia, and you will not find it anywhere. It's Tunisian harissa. Maybe you can try it.
Harissa?
Yes, harissa is like chili sauce, and I'm sure that Indonesian people will love that because Indonesian people like spicy food. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities that we can explore together, and there are a lot of products that we are working on to introduce to the Indonesian market. And I am sure, like I said, your embassy there in Tunisia is doing the same to show Tunisian what Indonesia is exporting to the world. So, like you said, Indonesia is a great country, big country, and we need to do more to make Indonesian products in Tunisia known, like we are doing here in Jakarta.
Yes, Ambassador RIADH DRIDI, talking about the PTA, the preferential trade agreement. So, what kind of what sort of products would be included in this PTA?
Actually, the two parties are working on a list of products. I can't tell you exact because it's a long list, but there will be agricultural products, manufactured goods. You know, there the two parts, the two of ministries of trade are working on a list. So when it will be finalized, the whole PTA agreement will be finalized, and hopefully we hope we can in the near future sign it.
Yes. Based on the condition or at present, so if we are talking about trade, we also are talking about, at the same time, we are talking about investment. So what's the possibility of investment, vice versa, from Indonesia in Tunisia and from Tunisia, Indonesia in the future?
Yes, actually, the two countries have, what we call many positive points in some sectors. And each country is focusing on developing investment in these sectors. There are sectors like services, like agricultural, agribusiness sector, industry sector. So tourism, especially, Indonesia is a touristic country, and tourism is very important here. The same in Tunisia. Last year we realized we received more than 8 million tourists. We are working this year on having more. We are aiming at receiving more than 9 million. So there are a lot of, added value sector for both countries on which we can work together to expand and to develop business in these fields.
And talking about tourism, since the economy Indonesian economy is better and better, and the number of tourists of Indonesian visiting other countries outside foreign countries is increasing anytime. So what is the chance for Indonesian people visiting Tunisia? Just say if we are talking about direct flight or facilities and so.
Yes, actually, when we talk about figures, when we see that the number is not very high, that means that there are rooms for improving.
Yes.
So even though the number of tourists, Indonesian tourists going to Tunisia is not very high, we can work together to increase these figures. Also, there are, like you said, there is no direct flight to Indonesia, unfortunately. So we are working with some other companies to try to bring tourism delegations to Tunisia. So it can facilitate, having a direct flight from Tunis to Tunisia to Indonesia. It can help, but it's not an obstacle. We can find the way to bring Indonesian tourists in Tunisia, and also there are a lot of, the number of Tunisian tourists to Indonesia is increasing. Everyone in Tunisia likes to come to Bali. Bali is a brand, so there are room for increasing, the flows of tourists from the country to the other.
So since you said that there are a number of people, and the number is increasing from time to time in Tunisian visiting Indonesia. So Indonesia is working on improving its halal tourism. So is that any, will it be able to trigger or just say to stimulate the people of Tunisia to come to Indonesia to make a visit?
Yes. Halal tourism is a sort of tourism, and also Tunisia in the future will be encouraging, this kind of services. So yes, sure, it will attract more Tunisian visitors to Indonesia, but you know, it's like one of the many kind of tourism that Indonesia can offer to Tunisian tourists. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Ambassador RIADH DRIDI, so besides trade, investment, tourism, so is there any kind of sectors that the two countries can develop in the near future?
Yes, actually, very important is the education. It's very
Education sector.
important. A very important field of cooperation between the two countries. Now, actually, we have more than 70 Indonesian students.
Seven,
More than 70.
70, okay.
Yeah, Indonesian students in Tunisia at the university, Tunisian universities, especially the University of Zitouna, studying, you know, studies, Islamic studies. So we want to increase this number, and also in the other hand, we have some Tunisian students here in Indonesia with the scholarship studying at universities here in Indonesia. So it's very important. It's the education is a bridge between the cultures. We have. I was very happy to see former Indonesian students in Tunisia. Now they are teaching in universities here, and they are really the ambassadors of Tunisia, you know, in Indonesia. And also, your students are the ambassador of your countries in Tunis. So this cooperation can further consolidate the relations between the two peoples. Is important, the cultural and educational exchange between the two countries. So Tunisia is not very well known here in Indonesia. Tunisia, when you say Tunisia, you say Tunisian dates, but Tunisia has a culture of 3,000 years. We have different, you know, cultures, from the Roman, from the Carthaginian to the Muslim. You have, you know, very important city in the Muslim world, the city of Kairouan in Tunisia. We have, you know, very important University of Islam in the Muslim world, the University of Zitouna. So we need to develop this kind of cultural and educational exchange between the two countries. Also, there are other fields for cooperation on which we can work together, especially you know, what you call handicraft. Yes, handicraft cooperation, you know, between. There are a lot of experience we can learn from Indonesia, and Indonesia can learn from Tunisia. And also we are working, we share the same value of democracy and human rights. So we can cooperate more on these kind of fields. So there are a lot of opportunities to develop and make our relations more close and more stronger in the future.
Okay. Yes, Ambassador RIADH DRIDI, is there anything that you wanted to say during this interview? Maybe that I missed?
The most important thing I want to say is that there are a lot of things that we can do together. And my mission here is to try to find opportunities to develop and make our relations more and further stronger. This is my mission, and I am very happy that with the support of the Indonesian people. Tunisia is when I speak with Indonesian people, ordinary people, yeah, Tunisia is a very nice country. So we need to capitalize on these close and important and strong relations to further develop them in the future.
Thank you very much, Ambassador DRIDI. Well, listener, that was my interview with Tunisian Ambassador to Indonesia, His Excellency RIADH DRIDI about the two countries' relationship, as the ambassador said that his mission here in Indonesia is to make the two countries' relationship is stronger and stronger in the near future. I'm Dolapani. Thank you being with us.